Welcome back to U.S. Farm Report. This weekend, here from the Pro Farmer Crop Tour, we talked a lot about the key findings, but now let's get into some of the market impacts. Because, Chip, you said Minnesota was even uglier than what you expected, yet we have USDA that currently thinks that this corn crop here in Minnesota could be the same as last year, and that is not what you found. Is that enough to generate some excitement in this market?
That's going to be real. It's going to be tough to generate a lot of excitement out of one state that was expected to be equal to a year ago, coming in below a year ago. That's tough to generate that kind of excitement. Now, when I look at the whole tour, Brian saw a really good crop in Ohio, a better crop in Indiana. We saw a good crop in South Dakota, but not as good as expected. We saw a better crop in Nebraska, but still not as good as expected. I think on the first 2 days of the tour, all we did was move some bushels from west to east.
So also Illinois, we talked a little bit about that earlier, but if Illinois is not a 225 bushel per acre corn crop statewide, could that impact the markets at all?
Oh, it could, I think, but probably not lasting, to be honest with you. I mean, we don't have a supply issue from a bullish standpoint. We have plentiful supplies, and so that isn't going to shock the market.
Okay, then, Chip, what is it going to take to try to find a bottom in this market? What is it going to take to put in our low?
A little bit of time here. We got to get the old crop corn, the 23 crop corn, out of the system. Once we've done that, then we can start to focus a little bit more on this 2024 crop and when that market is going to put in a low. To me, it's a late September, early October kind of situation. We just need to give it some time, let this market flush out, and then we need to find a reason for the funds to get off of the short side of the market.
Yeah, so Brian, what could some of those reasons be?
Oh, it could be any multitude of reasons. We just have to get them, and they're not just record short in corn and soybeans. Across all raw commodities right now, all 20 raw commodities, they're record net short. And so we have to have something that spooks them, something that makes them uncomfortable holding those aggressive short positions. And who knows what it'll be, but we get to that point, and then the money starts flowing the other direction, and you can gain some momentum maybe.
Chip, on Thursday, the Canadian rail strike really put some pressure on the markets, but then we saw Canada order the railways to enter into arbitration, ending that shutdown. Could that bring some hope into the market? There was a lot of concern about what impact it would have here at home.
Oh, I think that concern is 100% legitimate. We move a lot of product into Canada, number one. You can't move enough trucks in a short enough period of time to make up the difference for rail. You got to have rail into Canada. And so it's good that they've gone into arbitration. I would love it if we can get that negotiation settled and move forward. But it's not just grain into Canada. It ties up rail cars. It plugs up systems if the Canadian rail isn't operating.
Brian, on the demand front, we've seen some daily sales come in from China. How many more of those do we need?
A lot. So the problem is that China bought a lot of Brazilian soybeans up front. And now the question is, as we get into our key demand period from September to January, how many more will they buy and how many more do they need to buy?
All right, Chip, what's the one thing you want to leave farmers with?
The one thing that tough times. We're dealing with it. We know that we're dealing with it. Merchandise corn, there's carry in the market. Capture that carry. Find a way to make it happen.
Brian?
Maximize your bushels and go out there and defend every last bushel that you can, because extra bushels help offset low prices.
Chip, Brian, thank you so much. I know it's been a long week, but I really appreciate all the insight. Thank you so much. All right, we need to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more U.S. Farm Report in just a moment.
The 2024 Pro Farmer Crop Tour on U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Pioneer, combining cutting-edge research with one of the largest local testing programs in the industry to help farmers succeed. Pioneer, what's next happens here. By Zetavo soybean seed, distributed exclusively by BASF, and by New Leaf Symbiotics, science-led, performance-driven, and data-backed, offering biostimulants for corn, soy, cotton, and peanuts, and a revolutionary new bioinsecticide for corn rootworm.